12 days later. It's back. I cannot tell you how good it feels. To be fair to the mechanic, it wasn't actually an issue with getting parts. It was an issue with getting the tool to take off the chain. And here's the reason. Triumph's name is Dirt in Tenerife because a few years ago Triumph had a dealership in the north of Tenerife and they treated the bikers of Tenerife like dirt, and no one now trusts Tenerife and Triumph. And to give you an idea, 10 of the 3,000 motorbikes that the mechanic works on and services, only 10 are Triumph. That's how bad the reputation of Triumph is in Tenerife. But it feels brilliant to have it back. And I had a few warnings actually, because it was there so long. I did have a warning from Sizzapp saying that the battery was low, and basically I had to give a heads up to the garage, please just give the battery a charge. And that brings me on perfectly to the Sizzapp device, which is a device I've been using for a few months now. It's a mobile tracker and rider's mate. I've put it there, but I should probably hide it a bit more safely. Attach it to the battery, no monthly costs, brilliant app that is incredibly easy to use, and we'll put a little pop-up there of how it looks. And we've got a 15% discount, and it will be the last discount we get for a while. 15% off at Sizzapp. Use code Freddie15 and that will get you 15% off the device. I very, very highly recommend it. 10 seconds to install, no monthly anything. As soon as you buy it, that's it. And you know what? I should be more excited about getting the Bonneville back, but there's a reason I'm not, and that is because in 25 minutes, Monika and I are heading up north to collect a bike for the weekend. One of America's finest, and it's an all-new bike for me, the Harley Davidson Pan America. I am so excited because I've never ridden an adventure bike in my life, and so many people have told me, Freddie, don't talk about long distance comfort. Don't talk about two-up comfort and real riding experience until you've at least tried an adventure bike. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Oh, and I almost forgot, the bill. Now, I've been told by a few people, get ready for service and labour costs in Tenerife and in Spain because they will shock you. The cost, chain, sprockets, brake fluid, and I almost completely forgot to say actually, all the bike needed was chain and sockets and obviously brake fluid. It didn't need anything else. That's all it needed, and it feels like a new bike. It looks unbelievably good, and I wish I'd have done it 3 months ago. But that is the bill. €245, and look at that. The cost of 1 hour's labour. Hold on to your hat, Spritz. That is €30 an hour labour. It's normal to pay £65 to £100 an hour in England. I couldn't believe it. So over the moon delighted, £207, bike is perfect. They even cleaned it, they even pumped up the tyres. What an incredible service. So I highly recommend that place, Biker's Own in Tenerife. Let's hit the road. Can I just say one more thing before we get in here? And that is that even though I've never tried an adventure bike, I'm going in with a completely open mind to being sold an idea of adventure biking, and maybe my mind being turned, selling the Bonneville and getting one. I think our bike's parked outside, and this is right next to the Triumph dealership. In fact, I've just noticed it is actually one dealership, so it may be Triumph and Harley together, and one company kind of has a few different brands. Quite interesting. Great selection for, I was about to say Africa twins, for Pan Americans. First impressions, oh, it's a big beast of a bike, isn't it? This is, I know that you get the cruisers like I try the Road King, but they're really low with the seat height. This is more intimidating because of the higher seat height. So immediately when I look at it, that's gigantic. I will not be able to put my feet flat unless it's got some kind of air suspension to get down. Huge rear seat. I can't wait to find out what the comfort's like on this. But look, I'm 6'1". That's a big bike. That's a properly big bike. They look the business though. They really do. Let's see what else is here quickly before she comes and hands us the keys. These, love them. Is that the CVO, I think? And then, oh my knowledge is going to be found seriously wanting here. Street Bob, one of my favourites. These super simple, super classic, about 12.5K. I would love one of those. I've just noticed the all-new Sportster, first one I've seen. Wow. Oh, that looks seriously mean. It's probably too mean for my kind of riding, but that looks incredible. Single seat, completely slashed off halfway along the rear tyre with the new 1250 engine. I think it's the same engine as the Pan America. That looks ridiculously mean. And this must be a little 750. Yeah, it is 750. Actually, that does look good. Do you know what? I want to say, oh, I'll go into Triumph and see, but no, we'll leave Triumph for another day. Very nice though. That's a good looking Triumph dealership. And hopefully the service may have improved since Triumph got the bad reputation. Very nice though. They've got a good selection in there. These are probably my type. Super classic style, quite a lot of chrome. Love that style. Wow. My type of bike. Okay, I've had the full rundown. Is it weird to say I'm a little bit intimidated by the size of it? So there are two different settings for the saddle, higher and lower. I've asked for it to be kept on lower. No, it's okay, it's okay. A little intimidating because a normal Harley, they're not intimidating because the seat height's so low. This is a very different beast thing. I mean, it's got everything, different riding modes, heated grips, this voice command if you've got a helmet like that. I'm just too curious. Let's get on. I've just noticed it's also got Screaming Eagle exhaust, so it is going to sound the business. It's got a full tank, which I think said about 350 kilometers for a tank. Okay, let's go on our first ride. You know, it's always the first 10 minutes probably before you ride any bike. Like, you know, a bit, I don't know, is nervous the right word? 10 minutes time, I'll be fine, but I've never ridden a bike like this. It does feel very, very different. So I'm really excited. I'm just excited to see, yes, how the first ride will feel, but also how am I going to feel at the end of the weekend? Get ready for the Screaming Eagle. So we're in the capital, Santa Cruz, and we'll have to come back for another video because it's the capital of Tenerife. I'm a huge fan. I just love these side streets, little coffee shops. But let's get down to business. Not the cakes, no. Pan America. I think I'm already sold. Do you know, I was riding it thinking, I want to go on an adventure. If it didn't have the name, or if there wasn't a genre, called adventure bikes, I would be saying this bike makes me want to go on adventures. There was no need for me to be absolutely petrified by the size when I saw it. It's not remotely intimidating at all. It takes 5 seconds to get used to it. It feels light, it feels nimble when you're actually riding it. The seat height isn't actually that high in reality when you're actually on it.
But it is very high for a pillion.
Yeah, that's true. Monika.
It's just like sitting on a horse, I think.
Monika did say actually getting on it feels like getting on a horse, because it's the first bike, Monika, not if you agree, that she couldn't actually jump on from the ground. She had to put her foot on one of the pillion pegs and then get over like you would on a horse. So Monika's about that much taller than me. So you were a little bit scared, weren't you, initially? So it feels like you're about 2 meters off the ground or something like that, but it feels well made, it's smooth, everything's exactly as you'd hope from a really nice, accomplished adventure bike. I can't feel any negatives, and I'm super excited actually to do the 1 hour ride back home. Okay, coffee and cake time, and then we'll go and do a walk around the bike. This is the first for me. This is watermelon pie. Monika's gone for the safe option, which is brownie. I really hope I haven't made the wrong choice here. Who would have guessed? Watermelon pie. Absolutely delicious. Friday evening, and it is properly hot. That is the Santa Cruz Auditorium. I think that's it. Beautiful building just there, and the sea. I don't know if you can see it right behind it. Should we do a walk around? Yes. I'll show you the dash in a second. Let's start from the front. I think I prefer this looks-wise to the BMW GS and the Triumph Tiger. I know looks are subjective, but I like the looks of it. This is, stay there, Monika, if you don't mind. This is 245 kilos. Sorry, Monika's almost fallen off a cliff there. This is 245 kilos. I think my Bonneville's 220. The BMW GS is 249, so it's 4 kilos lighter. So it's not ridiculously heavy. And let's see. Monika's looking scared. Whoa. Wait, let me try that again. It's not too... It's not actually as unmanageable as I thought. I would actually go as far to say on this, not just it's not difficult to ride, I'd say it's extremely easy to ride. I've been riding now probably 30 minutes on and off around town, stopping, starting, city traffic. Super easy to maneuver, incredibly unintimidating. Already, let's see how I feel by the end of the 4 days I've got it. Kind of sold in it already. So let's carry on. Crash bars on the side. This plastic. It's okay quality plastic. Screen here. In fact, let me show you this, Monika. Come around here, because this screen is adjustable. If you come around here, there's a lever here. Hold that in, and you can move it up and down. And I've got a long stretch of motorway coming. I can't wait to see how that is. Heated grips. This plastic thing that comes down the centre of the tank. Actually that, I'll just come around here. That to me feels like, I think that's a plastic tank. Oh no, that's metal and that's plastic. Seat, 2 different height adjustments. Rear seat, very wide. It's you have to get on it like you get on a horse. It's so high, but it's good. Screaming Eagle exhaust. These are some actually quite chunky tyres, these. Almost, they got a good amount of off-road performance, I'm sure, but it's a good looking bike. And if I jump on it, and I'll show you the screen. Oh, this is how I look on it. 6'1", and for me, actually, it's fine. It's not too high a seat height at all. Good bend in my legs, so I would say anyone you know, 5'8" or so, you should be okay on this. It's not too big an issue. Monika, let me show you the dash. So, very nicely designed mirrors, super simple. One thing that did surprise me, this is very thin. Usually on Harleys, they're really chunky handlebars, but these are really thin actually. What you do, turn that. Oh, first time I've noticed that. That was the air suspension that just dropped me. I haven't noticed that before. You've got this big display, which I think is kind of the norm nowadays. And if you press, let's see if I can remember this. Here we go. That's it. So you've got loads of different options here. So you've got music, the bike. If you press on the bike, you've got diagnostics. You can go left and right and up and down. Home, even music. So I think you can pair. And then you've also got navigation there as well. So if you pair your phone with that, you can connect with navigation. It's all nice and easy to use. That's all for voice command. I'd never use that. That's to start it. Cruise control, heated grips. It's a nice place to be. It's very comfortable, and genuinely, it is actually the type of bike that I cannot wait to do a 1 hour motorway ride on. I am really excited about it. So, first impressions, if we wrap it up here, because I've got 4 days with it, so this is just a bit of a first impressions, and I'll give you my final thoughts in the next video. But first impressions, this is it. I've got no adventure bikes to compare it to, but this is, I can already tell, an extremely high level, good quality bike. I've got absolutely no doubt about it at all. It's a superb bike. Everything's nice and easy to use. Clutch is light, everything works brilliantly. It's a really, really nice bike. Said I can wait no longer. I have to get back on this. I'm going to go drop Monika off at Harley Davidson, because we left the car there, get back home, grab a beer, and plan a full weekend's riding on this bike. Thank you so much for coming on with us today. Please do give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.